The only thing that's left to do is put the cap onto this opening and the bottom, and then put in the interface elements. To do this, let's go edit mode. And when we select all these points and press F, we get a filled surface. Again, keep in mind, because this is half a model, initially we only select half of the ring, and then when we press F, it puts a middle line in and fills it. So this actually doesn't look too bad. The only problem is this surface should dip down a little bit. There we can see how this is a little bit convex. So how do we do this? We need somewhere here on this line a point. We can say subdivide. Now there we have a point, and then we can select this point and this line and then press J for join. Do we have actually the command in here? Yeah, connect vertex path. And what this does is it adds an edge onto that surface. So you see now it's really modeled, so we have two individual faces. Alternatively, we can also do it this way. So I deleted the midpoint, select these 2 points, F, and now I need to have a point at the center, subdivide, and I know I like 4-point faces, so I select these 4 points, F, and these 4 points, F. Cool. Now this I would like to move down perpendicular to the face and not straight down. Remember, we have our face orientation, or because this is a point here, I can select also the normal. That should actually do exactly the same. Let's double check. Yeah, X and Y look pretty good. Let's turn on the scan, push this down. Yeah, maybe like this. Very good. Sweet. Okay. You also will have to turn on under mesh data normals, the auto smooth, so we get really nice and crisp edges there. Okay, now let's take a look at the bottom. How can we cap this? We want to cap this and maybe add a very gently domed surface. So we go to edit mode, and then we can select these 2 points. We want to go to transform orientation to global now, because all we want is just move points straight up and down, and press F. Okay, so how do we connect elements now? 1, 2, 3, 4. So here I need a point. That means also here 1, 2, 3, I need a point. So this line, right click, subdivide 2 times. And this point with vertex snapping turned on, I move to the left, hold control and snap to there. 1, 2, 3. So to this one, hold control and snap. There you can see how they got lined up. And fill. And fill. Okay, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 points I need. So subdivide. 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. And then very quickly sliding those to the correct position. Then we can go to edge select, select always the opposite edges. There. And now I select only these edges, not the corner one. And I can very gently push this up. And then, as you can see, it domes the surface. And here we have a nice transition too. Again, also, this is a very complicated surface to do well in other programs. Here, it is really super easy to do. Very nice. Okay. The last element maybe that is left then would be how to do the openings. Let's quickly take a look at the sensor openings. Here, this, by the way, we call thermometer. Oops. There. Or you put in your English word, and there we have this one. So Shift S, cursor to world origin. Shift A, we will add a cylinder. 32 is fine. Radius. So previously we measured 7.5, 8.5. So 7.5 divided by 2, 7.5 divided by 2. There we are. Radius depth maybe 5 millimeters. Okay. There we are. Bring this over. Bring this down. And we can try to see where this actually lines up. Go to wireframe mode. Rotate it. This might be good to align rather to our modeled mesh. So I paid close attention to here at the bottom so that these are lined up well. Very good. This is not a mechanical part, so I'm a little bit off for conceptual model. This is totally fine. Then I can sink this one in and slide this one up and down till it looks, yeah, this is perfectly centered. Okay, very good. Then Shift D and escape. This should be 8.5. We have a scale factor, so let's apply it. And bring this one down. We slide it. You see a nice thing with the local orientation. It just goes down along this ray. That's pretty cool. Y has to be 0. Very good. I made a collection called trim. We can put these objects in there. Both objects I would like first shade smooth, then hold the Alt key, sharp edges. Then we go to object properties, viewport display, hold the Alt key or option and click wire. So there we can see them this way. Helps us a lot to see what's happening when we do the cut. How far do these go in? So there we can see this is a little bit lower. Okay, very good. Control S to save. Then we select this one. Modifier Boolean. Click, click. There we are. Very nice. This one works. And because we have a collection, we can also, instead of going object by object, we could simply say here collection trim. There we are. Pretty cool. Okay, so from a distance now we can understand, there are some openings. And obviously when we zoom in, stuff is missing. This is also the beginning of the semester. This is all about more learning, kind of like the trade and the details. If we want to style these openings a little bit more, because they are indeed a little bit customized, we can do this quickly. So we can select both, by the way, and then go into edit mode. That's kind of cool. We can edit objects at the same time. Let's turn on our edge length. Okay. And go to this view. Okay, I see actually where this comes up and down. And then we will do the following. Control R and line this up. Kind of like the midpoint cuts the curve of my the domed or concave surface of my scanner, and then I do the same there. Very good. Nice. And then I select face, hold Alt key and click this one. And then I can, this important number of scale, S and Shift Z. So what's happening? I scale along X and Y, but I ignore Z. So if I just only press S, you see how this all scales. S Shift Z, maybe like this. Okay. There we are. And how much did we scale? 0.7. Let's say 0.7. And then we do this cleanly here, 0.7. So we do the same here. Alt click on an edge. The edge I select then defines the orientation of the loop selected. S Shift Z 0.7 and enter. You see, same value. So both objects kind of like have a similar shrinkage. And then I can basically select the top ring and sink it down a little bit more. Select the top ring and sink it down a little bit more. And there you can see here how I will get a chamfered edge. And then there too. Okay, very nice. Edge length we can turn off. We go to object mode, turn this off, go to here, turn this back on, and there. Sweet. Okay, and there you can see this chamfered edge. To now create something for the interface that is at the center, there's actually a small push button. The push button has a dimension of just 10.5 by 21. So we will do this very quickly. Shift A, plane, and then we set X is 21.25 millimeters, and the width is 11. Okay, let's move this up a little bit. These edges we need to round. Go to edit mode. Then we select this, and this point. Actually, now we will do it this way first. X and delete only the face. Press A and E and Z, and we extrude a small surface. Just maybe 2 millimeters. That's good. So now, because we have a surface, we can go to Bevel Modifier. We don't have to add any weight because we go by the edges. The values seems not to work. That's because we have a scale factor. There we are. So it is 11 wide. So that means, what about 10? Not 10. What about 5? There you see, this is like 5, 10. There we are. Yeah, that looks kind of good. And shade smooth. Now we will give this a small solidify modifier by maybe 0.1 millimeter. So a small thin rim, complex, auto smooth. So you see there's kind of like this this rim, and we use this to cut out kind of like a groove. We just need to figure out from the front how far is this piece away. It's actually 46 millimeters. So, yep, that's all okay. Yep, hold Control and snap to there, and then we bring this back minus 46 millimeters. Then we can go to a side view, sink this in. So I snap onto it and then I will start dragging it in. Yeah, kind of like to there. So it looks like it's plus minus a millimeter inside. Very good. Also here, this I will turn into wireframe. Control S to save, and then this I will drag into this trim folder. And it actually did not do the cut. So let's see where maybe the problem is. We will go back and show solid view. Face orientation, so this is good. So there we can see something is actually indeed happening. Oh, there it is. Interesting. So with the collection, it didn't really work. So let me maybe drag this one out, but via giving this an object on its own, then it did actually do the cut. Okay, cool. Yeah. Very nice. Now, so from a distance there, you can see via the gap, this will show up particularly during rendering. Then we could say, hey, there's actually something that's happening because we are cutting actually a groove, and that can be an indicator for saying that there is actually the press button. So let's clean everything up. So this is actually our button. Let's make a new collection. We put this one in there. We call this one Boolean. Boolean simply because of Boolean command. Here, this we call maybe sensors. We drag this one in there. So it's all nicely in one collection. And we're done. Okay, that's it.